Hello everybody, what is up? This is Your Man, and we're going to cast some Starcraft 2 today. That's right, 2 casts in one day, you're saying? Jordan, you haven't casted in forever. I know, right? I'm back to doing 2 casts, 2 days, hopefully doing a cast a day. Finals are kind of creeping up on me, but hopefully I can keep doing this. Anyway, enough about me. Over here in the left-hand position on the map Metalopolis, we have the Red Zerg, VYEShibbxyz. And in the right-hand corner, we have the Blue Terran, Pulimuli. Wow. If there's ever a good idea of why I need to read these beforehand, that's it. VYES. We'll probably just call him Shibby. And then Pulimuli. I like that. Alright, anyway. This replay is courtesy of reddit.com/r/castit. Castit is the subreddit that I am pulling these from, and such a great resource for anybody that wants to cast or get their games casted. That's how I got started. That's how a lot of people get started, and it's awesome. And as you can see, a little bit of an interesting deviation right here, even at the 1 minute and 30-second mark. A gas first from Pulimuli. And this had a lot of popularity a little bit ago when people were going with those really deadly blue flame hellions. But you haven't seen it a whole lot as much anymore. And the 14 pull going down here for the Red Zerg player. So it looks like he expects a little bit of something different. Maybe that's just his normal style. Plays a little bit defensively early on rather than going for that quick eco, which is very safe. You can't blame him for being safe. So, but as you can see, the first Drax is now down for Pulimuli here, and that name will never make me not laugh. That name will always make me laugh, because I don't like to use double negatives. But there is going to be a little bit of a lull as this game ramps up, and we decide, or we see what tech players decide, excuse me. And ooh, it looks like the Zerg is going to drop a hatch here on 18, and he is going to be grabbing a gas geyser as well. So it looks like he's just going to be going for some early speedlings to get out some defense here, and that's fine. Pulimuli is going to scout all of this, and we see a factory quickly coming now for Pulimuli. So he is looking like he's going to go Hellions, which is of course super standard. Reactor going down on the barracks, completely normal. But a Roach Warren down for Shibby, and that's very good ahead, like map awareness of him, I guess. Not map awareness, game awareness. Understanding that you know, Terrans like to go for that very early Hellion opening and just blind countering it, and he's going to win in that gamble this time. That hatch is about 75% of the way complete, and Pulimuli decided to chat it up a little bit, I guess. I don't know if he expects foul play or what, because what is Pulimuli? Nothing. So, okay. So, Shibby has no idea. But, I mean, that's standard. He just metagamed a little bit. The standard metagame right now is Terrans open Hellions, and that's what he did. And, ooh, this wall's down. And these Lings are going to get in if they want to. And it looks like they will. Right as these, oh, quick snap call there from the Terran player. Going to kill these Zerglings really fast. Those 2 Zerglings not doing anything. But there are 3 Roaches out on the field, and they will very nicely deal with these Hellions. These Hellions shouldn't do much damage at all. And we see back here in the Terran base adding on more infrastructure. A barracks is on the way, and a barracks with the tech lab. Going over to the units tab really fast before this engagement that's incoming. 23 workers for the Zerg, 19 for the Terran, but with mules. That's all about the same. And great micro with the Roaches here. Going to make these Hellions virtually ineffective. And very nicely done there to ward off that Hellion play. Now these Hellions could swing around here, and it looks like they're just going to run away. Stim pack now on the way for the Terran player. So this game, very super standard thus far. Not a whole lot of deviation from either player. The only bit of deviation we have seen is most Zergs like to go for the early hatch instead of the early pull. But they've all ended up in the same place. Shibby in a great position, adding now an Evo chamber there, as you can see at his natural. Alright, supplies are 41 to 41, dead even actually. And actually, ooh, this could be dangerous. As soon as he moved that queen away to go spread creep, Hellions have crept back up in here. Will he get it up quickly enough? They are swimming in, gonna dance around the outskirts of the creep here. And good drone pull. But how many drones is he going to kill? He's killing a lot of drones right now. Not quite cost effective yet. Oh, lined him up. He lined him up. And all these drones are going to fall. Wow, very well done here by the Terran player Pulimuli. And wow, a lot more drones going down. This one Hellion with 7 kills on it, making him a corporal. And what kind of damage was done there? Well, it's almost going to be negligible because 13 drones did just pop, but how many workers were killed? 13. That is going to help out the Terran immensely, especially when we head over to the units tab and we see that the count, wow, Zerg still ahead by 12 drones there. His army, his drone control has been excellent. His drone timing's just been churning out those units. Now, however, the Terran is marching down with quite the army. And as if we've already seen, most of the Zerg supply is in those workers. We actually go over to the army tab. Terran is ahead in army by about 10 or 11 food right now. This could be a very bad situation if the Terran showed up at the front door of the Zerg right now. 6 Lings and 3 Roaches on the way. They're going to help a lot. But oh my gosh! I didn't even notice it. The Zerg doesn't even have Zergling speed. The Zerg does not have Zergling speed. He doesn't have Roach speed. And oh my gosh, these Lings are worthless that just popped. And I think these Marauders are going to come in here and just pretty much make quick work of this army. There's not actually a battle to be had here because there's no speed. Upgrades for the player Shibby is not going to finish in time. And the great kiting here by the Terran player, and he can just come up here and he's going to pick off some of the workers in the main. You know, he can just have his way with the main, maybe pick off some key tech. All these workers go down from a great Hellion shot. That Roach does die, folks. This, I don't even know what to say. Zerg is not long for this world. He is done, baby boy. Roaches are being killed as they step out. Double stimming there. And keep in mind, there are units constantly streaming in here. And the hatch in the main is under fire. No, Pulimuli decides to back off and go after the Queen. Queens are always the first to die. Speed looks like it may finish, but not before the main is ravaged here. And as you can see, more reinforcements are coming in. Now it looks like some Roaches will come in here and clean this up. Not the best decision to go after the hatch, in my opinion, because, I mean, like, that speed's going to finish and it wouldn't have had to. The hatch only got down to 25% health. Could have more damage could have been done. Could have picked off literally all the tech for the Zerg. So, but the tech of the Zerg stays intact, but he is literally back into the Stone Age in terms of workers. The Terran, only at 20 workers. He has certainly cut worker production during that whole bit to get all of that out. As you can see in here, only on one base. He is now up to 2 barracks, a factory, and a starport. Very much so all in for the Terran player, but he did enough damage to make it work. Now, he could do whatever he wanted from here. He could drop an expansion, but it looks like he's going to drop that starport on the tech lab and probably make a Banshee come out of there, and he is going to make the Banshee. I wouldn't be surprised to see him get Cloak. Shibby is very unprepared for this attack. He should have known well and good, actually, that because there isn't an expansion here, he should have just been making units. As soon as he got to 2 bases saturated, should have been constantly making units. This poor Marauder is probably going to meet its doom. Indeed. And oh no, there's not even a layer on the way. There's just a Baneling nest. The Evo Chamber did still stand, so we are going to be able to see some Spore Crawlers for the oncoming Banshees. But these Banshees should be able to make literally quick work of this predominantly no anti-air army from Shibby. Shibby's best bet as he sees the Banshees, goes on races for a base trade and wins at a base trade. And a command center finally now plopping down for Pulimuli. So assuming he gets some time, buys some time, he'll be just fine. Come late game, this will be a very low econ game, as you can tell. I mean, we're looking at the workers right now, 37 to 23, and then we're at the 13-minute mark. Zerg has caught up and superseded the Terran, but the Terran's not interested in making workers, as we've seen already. Been cutting them 2-4 south this big all-in. Had to cut them once again to make this command center here. Banshee is now swinging in. Spore Crawler is very well placed already here by the Zerg player, and these Banshees are going to be able to make work of some drones, but the Queens are coming in here doing some damage to it. Will he lose it? It looks like he might because of poor control, and he's going to fly into a Spore Crawler. Maybe, no, not quite. The Banshee's not paid for itself yet. I always like to see a Banshee get to 6 to 8 kills before it's paid for itself, and this Banshee is now up to 5. Second Banshee is now coming in to join the fray. Oh, unburrowed Spinecrawler. Oh, you gotta cloak your Banshee. He just lost that Banshee for no reason. But this is exactly what the Terran wants, even though that Banshee wasn't as effective as it could have been. He has forced the Zerg back inside his base. He has gained map control with these Banshees. And still, the all-in from the Terran continues. This expansion not even dropped down yet. Siege tank mode is now just about finished. And as you can tell, the Banshee doing work here in the third. It looks like this army is going to come up here and try to snipe off this third as the Banshee continues to do damage. I would like to see him focus fire his Banshees better. I would like to see him put that on the workers, not the hatch there. Could have killed those 2 workers instead. He's probably only going to get a queen before he is forced out. These 2 queens are going to come in and join the fray. But oh, look at this. Looky here. All these Roaches Banelings are swinging in. We're going to need some good Baneling hits. And they do get good hits. The tank does go away. Down left to 5 Mariners. And they will all meet their maker to this upgraded Roach army. As you can see now, the supply is heavily in the Zerg's favor, 75 to 45. The economic lead that the Terran held at the very beginning didn't mean much because he didn't do anything to capitalize on it. Instead, didn't make workers constantly. Just a macro win here for Shibby. The early lead he got with Zerg is allowing him to keep it, and it looks like Shibby here is going to push down into the main, or into the natural, excuse me. I'm going to get a couple Roaches picked off because of unnecessary siege tank fire, but setting up the flank nicely over here. No, it looks like he is going to join all his units together. Ooh, a drop is loaded up and making its way across the top portion of the map here, as you can see on your screen. Looks like it is going to land and probably will come over here and try to pick off some workers over here at this base, but not before these Lings. Oh, no, he decides to pull back immediately. If he goes in here, I don't think he has the units to take this out. Very well fortified position with these 3 siege tanks, but we do see over here the drop coming in. It looks like it will pick off that base, but no. Oh, taking a lot of unnecessary hits that I don't like to see. And the drop is now going to pick off the third. It looks like it will because the Zerg was way out of position with its unsuccessful attack. And, wow, great little drop there. Pulimuli is going to have to do this to get himself back into this game. Supplies are still in favor of Shibby, however. And a lot of idle drones over here, but what can you do when there's a drop? Over here in the middle of the map, did you know you can hide stuff back here? Random ADD moment. But as you can see, 45 workers to the 37 of the Terran. The Terran is catching up, and with mules, that almost puts his income above, if not superior, to that of the Zerg. Zerg player should be aware of this drop, and he is. And looks like he is going to come get a couple free Marines. No. Great pickup in time by Pulimuli. And we look at the supplies. Still, Shibby is in the lead. We go to the army supply, however, and the Terran leads that. The difference in supply does come in the form of workers. Ventral sacs, or excuse me, pathogen glands and +1 is on the way for the Zerg player. Going to start going into infestor production, and I can't say I disagree. Terran just now decides he wants to take his third at the 18-minute mark, super standard, and adding another barracks and another factory on. I can't agree with all his production for the Terran. He can't necessarily have the money for it. He does now, but that's because he hasn't been spending properly. Way too much production. Could have had a much bigger army, actually, and could have come in here and just cleaned up the Zerg army at this point. But if everyone played perfect, then Starcraft wouldn't be much of a game now, would it? So as we see here, the Spire did just finish somewhere for the Zerg player. There it is, in a very undefendable position. But whatever, Zerg players build their stuff in weird positions. And ooh, getting a position right out here outside the third. I don't know if I agree with this attack from Pulimuli. But, oh, catching him one tank on siege. He is going to catch the second. He is. Those Banelings taking some unnecessary shots, but they are going to be fine. And, ooh, unupgraded Banelings. I don't know if I agree with this attack right now. The Zerg just needs to pull back, start getting that Baneling tech. Unupgraded Banelings here, not the best thing, because those Banelings are going to get destroyed by the tanks. And you can see the tanks are getting in pretty good position here. And Infestors are going to come in, and these Infestors actually are going to make the most of the difference. Very well clumped up Marines there. Ooh, could be dangerous, but no. doesn't capitalize, and looks like an Infestor is going to come in here. Is he going to get the sick fungal? He does! Sick fungal there for the Zerg player, Shibby, and he's going to clean up this Terran army with ease. Those fungals were nasty. Pretty much decimated the entire Terran army. 1 kill Infestor. That's not really fair. Most of them went to those Banelings. But you can see +1 for the Terran just now finishing up, as +2/+0 is done for the Zerg. And we still have some Lings over here chilling, and they should have scouted that dropship. 2 fully loaded dropships are going to come over to the natural, or to the main, excuse me, of the Zerg player, and it looks like he will be caught way out of position, but he should get back in time. Might lose a spine crawler or 2. Great in-base defense here from Shibby. Those spine crawlers and spore crawler are going to give him enough time to get back and defend his base. Going after the spore crawler immediately, but not before the Lings get in here and decide to clean up. And just as I was about to say it, actually see the 6 Mutalisks are about to pop. That's going to be a great decision, because they are going to allow the Zerg to drop down these dropships much easier. And this is kind of cute. Pulimuli taking a slightly hidden 3rd base, but not hidden because Shibby is scouted it, and it's right by the Shibby's natural 4th. So it is quite a depressing situation here. And it looks like Pulimuli, realizing that the time to attack is now down by 50 supply, is moving out towards the 4th of Shibby. And he is not going to be a happy camper. Oh, these Banelings could cause some destruction. Not the best use of the Banelings going off on the Planetary Fortress. If this Planetary Fortress falls, we can pretty much call this GG from Pulimuli. And the Planetary Fortress does fall. Terran is in a great position here outside. It wouldn't be the best choice to engage here. Oh, coming down that ramp is going to lose a lot of unnecessary units, though. And supplies are evening out quite nicely for Pulimuli. The tanks are falling a little bit, but Marines are doing enough additional support. And there's just too many tanks there. That was not a good engagement for Shibby. He should have waited, maybe set up a flank. And instead, now his 4th is under fire. And it looks like he probably will lose his 4th, as Zerg is only forced to build 44, 54 Lings. All of his larva looks like it's spent. He's larva locked, as I like to say. And nothing really capable of doing here. And losing a lot of mutas. I don't know if losing those 3 mutas was really worth the tank. And losing a 4th, a 5th, a 6th, a 7th, and all of the mutas will fall. But look here, a flanking action coming in the Zerg. Looks like he is sweeping around. Not the most decisive attack there from the Zerg player. Going to lose all of these Lings for not the most cost-effective means. He just wasn't decisive enough. Now these Infestors will come in here and clean it up. Ooh! Catches all the Metavacs. Very sick. But still don't know if he loses any of these Infestors. He might be way too far behind to come back. All the Metavacs do go down, though. Great job. Supplies still in Shibby's favor. 119 to 69, and oh, these Infestors getting picked off. He still has Fuggles and Infested Terran left. Looks like he's just not paying attention to his most important unit on the field. And loses all but 2 of those Infestors. Will he lose all 5? No, he will not, but still lost a lot there. 113 supply to 74 for Pulimuli. The advantage does go to Shibby, but if we look at the army tab, this game is not going to go on much longer. Shibby has literally double the army of Pulimuli. Pulimuli's got 3 bases completely saturated. Terran's got 2. Terran's only got 1 mining base, folks, with idle SCVs literally everywhere. This is not going to be a good ending for Pulimuli. Looks like he is going to try to take a good, safer 3rd base this time. But the army of the Zerg is going to swoop in here, and I honestly think these Lings, while they won't be able to clean it up, they'll be able to deny it. They'll be able to stop. And we're taking a little bit of a pot shot here, but they are going to run in all from one angle. Not the best. And well, he's going to do a lot of work because of the friendly fire of these tanks. Not the best engagement for the Zerg, but he does have the money now to keep flooding in. 133 to 183. Still a 50 supply lead here for our Zerg player. And these Roaches, great little micro there, going up to pick off the forward siege tank. And they're going to clean up every Marine here if he wants to. No, more reinforcement tanks do come in from behind and are going to kill everything. And oh, he's going to have to burn another scan to kill that circling. That's a sad day. Zerg is now starting to take the map with all the money he has available. And Terran says, you know, screw it, we'll just build it over here. That's pretty funny. Oh, he does now. Just clean it up. But he's going to morph it into a planetary right there with that gap, I guess. That's cool. Whatever floats your boat. But, sorry, that was mean. But the Greater Spire and +3 is on the way for the Zerg player. +1/+1 for the Terran is done. But that's nothing compared to the advantage these upgrades have for the Zerg player. As you can see here, +2/+2 to the +1/+1. Not very good here. Planetary Fortress will finish in time to stop his onslaught, but will it be enough? Because all he has is a Planetary Fortress, a little group of Marines, and 3 tanks. Nowhere near enough. I don't think this is going to be a favorable event for Pulimuli. I've said that before. GG should have been called, if we're honest, a long time ago. And looks like going to come in here. Not the best decision to go after the Planetary Fortress, but I don't think it's going to matter. All the infested Terran eggs are being dropped down, and look at that. He might as well have spelled GG with those, because I think that's what Pulimuli is going to have to type out here in a second. More infested Terrans than there have been Terrans for the Terran in the entire game. Ruffle, ruffle, ruffle. And look at that, third base does fall, and all these infested Terrans will go meet their death, but not before they have caused havoc to this Terran army. 66 supply to 132. 60 supply lead is the lead for Shibby. And all those infestors proud to have done their job. 7 kills for some of these infestors. Slayer status. That's pretty sick name. What rank are you? Oh yeah, I'm a Slayer. That's what those infestors say when they go to the bar. But now here comes a pretty formidable tank army. However, tanks aren't that good against lings that get close, nor are they good against infested Terrans. And that's exactly the, nor are they good against Broodlords. That's exactly the army that the Terran has here. And there are no anti-air, by the way, that's capable of dealing with this Broodlord army. Because those Broodlords clean up those Marines, easy peasy lemon squeezy. And now the friendly fire, those tanks are done. We're going to close this. And Pulimuli, being the manor bear that he is, no exclamation mark @ symbol hashtag money symbol in way. Well, yes, sir, there is a way when your opponent is on 3 mining bases and you're on 0. But that's okay. No effing way. Well, I hope you guys have enjoyed this cast by I'm Your Man, me. If you like the video, please thumbs up it. If you want to just give me some constructive criticism, please put them in the comment box below. I would really appreciate that very, very much. You guys are awesome. Thank you for helping me get over the 550 view mark. That's super cool. I got a casting gig because of you guys. Thank you to my subscribers. Please subscribe. Oh yeah, self-plug. Subscribe if you liked it. I'm going to do casts every day now. I need to get back into my groove a little bit. Need to get the flow going, but thank you guys so much for watching, and I hope you all have a great day. This has been I'm Your Man casting VYEShibbxyz versus Pulimuli on the map Metalopolis.